Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for your second piece of Chelsea news content today. We're going to be discussing outgoings a bit more in this video. If you want to see my thoughts on the Gnabry-Lewandowski double Chelsea swoop from Bayern Munich, then I will leave a link in the description to the earlier news video today. Make sure you're subscribed to GBFC because even though there have been two news videos, there is still another piece of content going out today. Been working on some beautiful graphics showing all of the transfers so far. And we're going to do early predictions. We're going to look where I think Chelsea are going to finish as of the business conducted right now and the entire Premier League table. So stay tuned for that one. We're going to discuss primarily Armando Broja. We're also going to discuss Conor Gallagher. A weird time for Chelsea right now. As fans, we have excitement from the links to various wonderful world-class footballers. We have the excitement of Raheem Sterling completing his deal. Sterling was on a holiday in Jamaica. Chelsea also had to arrange and fly ourselves to Los Angeles for the beginning of our pre-season tour of America. And in between all of that, there's really been a lot going on to make sure that this Sterling deal is publicised, welcomed by the Chelsea online community, but the news is that the paperwork is done. The agreement for Sterling has been made. Raheem Sterling is a Chelsea player. We just haven't seen him yet wearing the shirt, doing interviews, and all of that stuff that Manchester City seem to absolutely nail. I don't know if you guys have watched any of the first interviews with Alvarez, the first interviews with Erling Haaland, but the way that City are managing business and also managing their social output is a big inspiration, I think, to the majority of Premier League clubs. But you kind of get that when you don't have brand new owners, when you've had a manager who's been there for a long time. They know what they want. They tend to get exactly what they want. But Chelsea are doing work. We are doing business. But some of the business that I do find very difficult to understand, although I do understand it, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts today as to why Chelsea might be looking to sell Broja, sell Conor Gallagher potentially. With Gallagher, at the moment, Frank Lampard wants Conor Gallagher at Everton. This is not a surprise in the slightest. Frank Lampard has links to Chelsea, has a great relationship with Chelsea, despite obviously being a manager, then no longer being the manager. Tuchel comes in, wins us the Champions League. There's clearly a divide there between Tuchel, Lampard, in a managerial sense. But Frank Lampard is a Chelsea legend. So the fact that they've been linked with Billy Gilmour, the fact they're also linked with Armando Broja, and Lampard wants Gallagher is not a surprise. Let me tell you this right now. If Chelsea do not sign another midfielder in a central area this summer and we sell Conor Gallagher, this one is undoubtedly, unquestionably, a disaster from Chelsea Football Club. If we offload Conor Gallagher without bringing in another midfielder, then we are going to be stuck here. Not only will it be yet another Cobham product who would be sold when there is still such a vast amount of potential yet unfulfilled. If he is sold, yes, we probably could command a decent fee, but compared to what we know, the level that Gallagher can reach in a year, 2 years, maybe even 6 months, Chelsea know that they're offloading a player whose resale value for Everton is significantly higher than any fee that Chelsea would be able to get. The reason why these sales to the likes of Tomori, Tammy Abraham, Mark Gurhey, Livramento, Tariq Lamptey, those are the 5 that come to the top of my head. Lewis Bate to Leeds, but he was slightly under the pecking order of breakthrough quality. The reason that Conor Gallagher may potentially want this move to Everton is because of game time. Conor Gallagher knows that even though he is an extremely talented player, had a magnificent breakthrough season with Crystal Palace, and I believe is a perfect player to fit into a Thomas Tuchel team, whether that is as an 8, whether that is if we start to change formations a little bit to accommodate more attack-driven signings. I think Conor Gallagher, as a versatile workhorse, could be a phenomenal midfielder for Chelsea, but at this stage in his career, he's just broken into the England squad. There's a World Cup coming up in less than 6 months' time, and Conor Gallagher might be looking at this summer looking at Chelsea being linked to Frenkie de Jong. Maybe we don't sell Jorginho, Kovacic isn't going anywhere, N'Golo Kante probably not going anywhere despite links to Manchester United. And I think Arsenal also interested as well, but I don't see Kante going anywhere. And at this point in time, Conor Gallagher might well be looking at this summer, and although he made those comments to Rio Ferdinand saying, I want to make it at Chelsea, I want to go back there next year, prove myself, pre-season is an interesting time with all of these links to different players, signings coming in for Thomas Tuchel, players that Thomas Tuchel wants. The business that Chelsea do in the middle of the park will sincerely dictate the future of Conor Gallagher. If we bring in a Frenkie de Jong, if players don't leave, then I think that Everton's interest in Gallagher could slowly start to turn his head. One thing I do see in Conor, not just as a footballer but as a bloke, is this guy is incredibly driven. He's a very confident character. As a footballer, he has all of the raw ability to seriously make it right now in the Premier League. And I think Chelsea have got to be very careful that we don't make a mistake by selling this guy too early. As much as it's exciting for fans like you and I to get excited by potential big names, big money moves, sometimes Chelsea have the answers in-house. We had it with Tomori. We're looking for a left centre-back right now. We're trying to spend 100 million almost on a left centre-back potentially. Well, Ake's not going to be 100 million. Nathan Ake is the left centre-back Tuchel wants, but we've also got Matthias de Ligt on the agenda as well, and that's 80 to 100 million euros. Fikayo Tomori went to AC Milan and has become one of the best defenders in Europe over the course of the last year. We've got to be careful we do not make the same mistake again. Lamptey, Livramento sold for ridiculously cheap fees because they didn't have the experience, but everybody knows these Cobham boys have the quality. As much as Lampard doesn't want to ruin Chelsea, he knows the quality that Conor has and he wants it at his club. We move into Armando Broja. Again, such a similar story, this one, with Tammy Abraham. The only issue with the thing with Tammy was that Tammy was already scoring goals for Chelsea and won us a Champions League, or was with us to win the Champions League. Yes, he didn't feature that much in that Champions League run-in towards the end, but Tammy Abraham is a Champions League winner. We sold him. Armando Broja is wanted also by Everton, but the strongest interest in Broja is coming from West Ham United. Last season, Broja was at Southampton. Southampton are a team who they're looking really to try and push into the top half. If they manage to finish like the upper echelons of the mid-table, then they're satisfied, I would say. Broja wasn't exactly a 20-goal Premier League striker, but what we did see was a fire in the belly from a player wanting to prove himself, getting Premier League minutes, delivering in big games, scoring goals, and helping the team. And as well as that, there just seems to be a personality within Armando Broja that is very, very exciting indeed. West Ham, when we compare this to Southampton, are a little bit further up the table with slightly higher aspirations, and what do they need? They need a striker. They need backup. Mikhail Antonio isn't even an out-and-out striker, often used in that role. Jared Bowen, better out wide. West Ham need to buy somebody, and Armando Broja is perfect for it. The news at the moment is within the next 72 hours, West Ham will be making an approach for Broja. I just hope with this one, and I think this one is more about the player than Chelsea might be looking to sell if West Ham come in with a significant offer, because Chelsea, like we said earlier, could be interested in Lewandowski. We've had talks of Cristiano Ronaldo. If either of these two players come in, Broja's minutes, they don't exist this season at Chelsea. Whether you think he's good enough or not, Cristiano Ronaldo is not going to be benched for Armando Broja at this stage in his career. If West Ham come in with a good offer, I think Chelsea may well consider it. And I just hope, again, that we do not lose a player who is about to go on to become something brilliant. I do not want Chelsea to sell Armando Broja, although I think this one, probably more so than a potential Conor Gallagher move. Gallagher may be alone if we bring in a midfielder. I don't think it's going to happen though. I think Broja could go, and I think Chelsea would be just making a really bad decision here. I think this striker is everything that Chelsea have wanted personality-wise in a striker. I think his finishing is brilliant. I think the way he runs at pass through defenders is absolutely brilliant. I think this guy can go to the very, very top. I really do. And I say the very, very top loosely because it would be very early to say he's going to be Haaland level, Mbappe level, because these guys were doing it at his age. That would be slightly exaggerated. But I do think Broja is going to become a top striker. And I just sincerely hope that we do not sell him to West Ham or Everton if we do bring in a Ronaldo. He's 37. He's not going to be here forever. Alone? Yes. But I don't want to see Chelsea once again doing a sale with a double the price buyback for the future when we know it's just simply about keeping these players happy. They want to be playing football. But once again, as much as it's exciting to be linked to all of these foreign players, all of these other players in the Premier League, whatever it may be, we need to make sure that we are looking after our academy, because over the course of the last couple of years, the amount of players that have broken through compared to the amount that have left, it is still outweighed by those who have left. And we don't want to get into a position where the young players who are below these ones now that are breaking through, we don't want it to become a default that these young players know that in order to develop their careers, they must leave Chelsea, because we're still a spending machine. Roman Abramovich put so much money, time, love into building Cobham into one of the best academies in the world. We've got to try and keep hold of some of these players. Let them break through. Give them opportunities. Give them chances. Just because they're Cobham, it doesn't mean they deserve to be 38 game a season players. If they don't perform, we're in a luxurious position still to be able to buy players instead. But we've got to give these guys at least a pre-season. Make Tuchel make the judgment as to whether or not they're going to stay. I don't see either of these two leaving anytime soon, but by the end of the window, something might happen depending on what happens coming in. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the love on the channel. It is a busy summer, so stay tuned, turn on the bell notifications. I'll see you guys later. Come on, you Blues.